Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Political Talks with JB. I am your host, Julian Boykin. This evening, I know it's late, but time is of the essence, and I thank this brother for his time, Mr. Jovani Patterson, who is running for Baltimore City Council President. Jovani, how you doing this evening?
Man, I'm great, Julian. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So, tell everybody a little bit about yourself for the viewers that may not know you.
Awesome. Well, again, my name is Jovani Patterson, running for City Council President of Baltimore. I'm a father of two kids, an 8-year-old boy and an 8-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old boy. My son acts like he's 8 sometimes. He's ready to play. This boy ready to play football. I don't know what else to do with him. But also professionally, I work as a cybersecurity engineer, solving a lot of the complex challenges that we face today. The hot topic right now is, election security, in our field, and also preventing another, cyber pandemic. Because despite there is the coronavirus pandemic, but from a cybersecurity perspective, it did create a lot of additional challenges, including, compromising of medical records and some other things. So, I've been, in the trenches in several aspects of my life right now.
Okay. When it comes to property taxes, Baltimore ranks #1 in the state of Maryland at 2.248%. What is your plan to lower those property taxes for the residents of Baltimore?
And I'm telling you, when you're a homeowner in Baltimore City, you see that property tax bill. I mean, that causes some level of trauma for a lot of people right there. But if we look at the property taxes, first off, it's pretty much double of any other county in Maryland. And if we talk about economics, that's really an oppressive factor to creating more homeowners, which leads to safer communities, cleaner communities, more local opportunities, more entrepreneurship. So my plan is actually to cut those property taxes virtually in half. Well, actually, really in half within the next 4 to 5 years. The way we get to there is the city has a lot of vacant and abandoned properties, or a lot of city-owned properties that could be sold to create immediate cash flow for the city in lieu of taxes. But then, as more and more people, move to the city, because it's now an attractive place to live because of the property taxes, we'll see that revenue to the city be replaced within 4 to 5 years. There was a situation in California where San Francisco had high crime, some of the same issues that Baltimore faces today. And what happened was, San Francisco as a city didn't cut their property taxes. What happened was that there was a statewide property tax cap. So it essentially immediately forced San Francisco to cut its property taxes. Now, because right now it's about 1%, and there's a lot of home ownership within San Francisco, and it then became one of the shining jewels of Silicon Valley. And I think we could replicate some of that, some of the action here, but we have to do it, in a more strategic manner. It doesn't have to be as drastic as San Francisco, but we are able to achieve that and attract businesses, create more entrepreneurs, and I actually, clean up a lot of our city streets, because now we have more homeowners, more business owners, and more ownership, period. And that naturally deters a lot of other, mess that goes on in the city.
When it comes to schools, COVID-19, and trying to open schools back up, I know that's a difficult, situation for parents. I know Baltimore had an issue with, schools in the wintertime not having heat.
Mm-hmm.
The AC and things like that not working during the summer. What are your plans as far as schools trying to open back up during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, I think there's opportunity for the schools to open. but there has to be accountability, not only in the method in which we're opening, but also in the finances. A lot of the spending in the school actually goes unchecked, so we have to have some accountability there. Now, this is another thing that I really just kind of learned this week, and it just dawned on me. I mean, I've driven by several abandoned schools, and I thought maybe there are like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 abandoned schools throughout the city. But that number is about 26.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's 26 abandoned schools. All of them are in distressed areas within the city. So if we want to deter from failing schools, if we want to, have accountability within our schools, then what I would suggest is actually sell off some of these buildings to private school owners or private school, not developers, but to private school entities, in which now we can actually have private schools in distressed areas and have a school voucher and have access to true school choice, and put a shining star within some of our distressed communities. It's real funny to me that when a private school isn't performing well, enrollment decreases and the school gets shut down. When a public school isn't performing well, we beg and plead for more funding and more access to resources, but there's no accountability, no oversight. So I think I think it's time that we do examine that. We have plenty of real estate, we have plenty of opportunities for development. So we have those 26 abandoned school buildings. Let's use 20 of them to open up new schools with access for the local community, using school vouchers to go and attend to these schools.
When it comes to jobs in Baltimore, it's no secret that Baltimore definitely needs an uplift. It needs a new facelift as far as whether it be a manufacturing company that's going to come through and provide jobs for the citizens of Baltimore. What is your plan as far as trying to increase jobs in Baltimore?
Well, I strongly believe Baltimore has some of the most talented individuals this country's seen and the world has ever seen. I'm a musician myself, and I know tons of other musicians within the city, some of the best in the world. So we have a strong music, arts, entertainment, creative scene here, and it's time to turn that into an economic driver of the city. So I think we have to create some public-private partnerships, maybe attract some film industry within the city, similar to the way Georgia did with the film industry, with the Made in Georgia, providing certain tax benefits and things like that. But I think there's opportunity for Baltimore City to take some of that, to use some of that as a model and really bring those type of opportunities to our city, because we have some of the most talented individuals. Now, I also believe Baltimore is a more of an entrepreneurial city than it is a traditional job city. I mean, there's been industry that has left. There's factories that are currently abandoned, which we could bring back manufacturing for various industry for various different resources. However, Baltimore is a more entrepreneurial city, and this actually goes back to the first question, about property taxes and corporate taxes, things like that. We have to make it more business friendly, more economic for people to actually own and operate businesses within the city. I mean, we have the issues with they call them squeegee kids or squeegee boys. I mean, these are entrepreneurs on the city. So if we had mechanism in place where it's more beneficial to have a business, the pathway to business ownership is more clear and more accessible. What we'll see some of the greatest talent, some of the most ingenious ideas come straight out of the city.
Great. When it comes to crime in Baltimore, it's been high for the last few years. What plan do you have to kind of minimize crime in Baltimore and, for lack of better terms, probably create a better relationship with the police department and the citizens of Baltimore? Because the hot topic now is police reform versus defunding the police, and I'm pretty sure that's not a hot topic for Baltimore as far as trying to defund the police within itself, but crime is still there. So what do you think your plan is going to be to minimize a lot of this crime that's going on?
Well, first of all, there has to be accountability, one, between City Hall, and two, the Baltimore police. Right now we have, a prosecutor that doesn't prosecute crime. And then we have a police force that is in the midst of being defunded, and has been subject of some, of several corruption scandals and things like that. It's like we're throwing throwing rocks in glass houses and blaming the other person all the time. There has to be some accountability. We have to say, hey, this is what the rules are. Let's follow them. I mean, it's really that simple. If this is a crime now, it's a crime. We have to prosecute it. If it's illegal, it's illegal. If there's things that maybe need to be changed, let's go through the process to get it changed. And let's just not say it's illegal, because then you're setting a precedent that, crime goes unpunished. Right now, our homicide clearance rate in Baltimore City is less than 25%. That means you have a greater chance of being able to go out and murder someone than getting caught and getting away with it. So there's no penalties for crimes. And when you create that atmosphere of lawlessness, then, it's only going to, continue to fester until something major on the other end happens. So we have to, one, start reinforcing the laws that exist. Now, if there's some, unethical laws or maybe something that can be changed, then let's look at that. But we can't just say, the law is unethical or discriminatory because you just don't like it. We have to go and really, it's really just simple. We just have to go abide by the law. And if the law is there, let's enforce it.
Thank you. I'll let you close us out, and for you to tell everybody why they should vote for you for Baltimore City Council President.
Well, first thing is there's never been a GOP City Council President in Baltimore, so this is history in the making. If I'm fortunate enough to obtain the support of the citizens of Baltimore, and I'm looking at this as an opportunity to serve. There's nothing for me politically that I'm aspiring for other than serving the people of Baltimore in the role of City Council President, and that's what I'm going for right now. So my only focus is for November 3rd to earn the support of the citizens of Baltimore, just to do the best job that I can. I'm just a regular person. I love my kids. I love my family. I want to see my family, be able to live, grow, develop, get educated right here in the city, and also enjoy all the things that are around. I mean, we're close to the water, close to DC, close to Philly. I think Baltimore is a great location. I think it's time for that in itself to be the shining point of the city, and allow that to flourish and to grow. So I'm looking to represent that and make things happen for the city.
How can people get in contact with you or donate to your campaign if they have any more questions?
Yeah, so you can go to www.jp4bmore.city. That's www.jp4bmore.city. You can also follow me on Twitter, and that's at MRJPISGREAT. That's at Mr. JP is great. Also Facebook, Jovani Patterson for Baltimore. Pretty responsive on there. So yeah, feel free to reach out, donate, shoot me a line. I'll definitely get back to everybody that I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jovani Patterson. Jovani, thank you for your time and best of luck to you, sir.
Man, thanks, Julian, man. It's always an honor to talk to you, man.
Likewise.